that society puts on them. And it's interesting that Jordan frequently cites Scandinavian countries where they've made more, like there's nowhere in the world that women are equal, but Scandinavia has made the most progress towards shared parenting, etc. Yep. That said, it's not done yet. There's nowhere in the world where this is done yet.
But it's having the opposite effect that the gender equality types predicted. Opposite, not the same. And it isn't a theory, it's actually data driven by tens of thousands of surveys and the best scientific literature on the topic. It's not a theory, and I didn't come about it because of my political perspective. I looked at the data. What it showed was that as countries become more egalitarian, the differences between men and women grow. They don't shrink.
Hi guys, my name is Favor.
My name is Zainab.
I'm Ella.
And today we'll be checking out a video together where Jordan Peterson discusses whether men and women can ever be equal. So guys, let's get right into the video.
What do you understand by equality, Sophie? What does it mean to you?
Freedom.
Can you be more, is it equality of opportunity? Is it equal pay across the board? Is it something more than that?
I think equality's better for everyone. I think,
okay.
you know, and I'm really delighted, you know, I love my job because it's an optimistic and a hopeful job, which is about creating more choices for people. I'm interested in people being able to have different choices and having equality of outcome.
Aha, well, so you're going to have choices and equality of outcome. What if people choose different things, which is what they've been doing in Scandinavia? So the Scandinavian countries have moved more towards gender equality than any other countries, and the personality differences in Scandinavia have increased rather than decreased, and the proportion of women who are choosing STEM fields has decreased rather than increased. So as cultures become more gender neutral, the number of women who choose STEM fields decreases.
What do you mean by STEM fields?
So science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So if you let men and women make their choices, what actually happens is that they specialize in different situations, and you don't get equality of outcome.
Could they not have been programmed to have those views from the moment we raise them and give boys Lego and construction?
No, because what happens is that as countries get more egalitarian, which means there's less programming of that sort, the differences get larger, not smaller. And the scientific data on that is clear, and most of it was generated by people who have a left-leaning bias, so you can't blame it on conservative scientists. It was a shock to everyone to find that out.
Sophie,
I think the difference between Jordan and me is that we look at evidence and we lean towards different theories. So Jordan's theory is very much evolutionary, you know, that there are inherent differences in men and women. Mine is very much more social role theory, if you like, and that men and women are taking on different roles due to the expectations that society puts on them. And it's interesting that Jordan frequently cites Scandinavian countries where they've made more, like there's nowhere in the world that women are equal, but Scandinavia has made the most progress towards shared parenting, etc.
Yep.
That said, it's not done yet. There's nowhere in the world where this is done yet.
But it's having the opposite effect that the gender equality types predicted. Opposite, not the same. And it isn't a theory, it's actually data driven by tens of thousands of surveys and the best scientific literature on the topic. It's not a theory, and I didn't come about it because of my political perspective. I looked at the data. What it showed was that as countries become more egalitarian, the differences between men and women grow. They don't shrink.
So what I'm interested in is data and analysis as well, and I'm particularly interested in the ones presented, such as the ones by the University of Southern California, which discovered that change towards gender equality is actually being slowed by beliefs that are legitimizing social inequalities on the basis of sex. And I'm also interested, I mean, like Jordan, I look at the data and I look at the studies, and I'm really also very much interested in studies like the analysis that was done by the American Psychological Society, which looked at 45 analysis of whether there's sex difference over 20 years. And its conclusion was that men and women are basically alike in terms of personality, in terms of cognitive ability, in terms of leadership. But what it did find was that media depictions of men and women as fundamentally different perpetuate misconceptions, as does workplace bias.
Oh God, so it's my fault.
So, no, well, you know, you're leaving soon. It's
men and women actually are more the same than they are different. But the issue is that small differences at the population level can turn into very large differences at the extreme. So, for example, men and women are broadly similar with regards to aggression, although men tilt a little bit more towards aggression. So that if you picked a random person out of the population, male and female, and you guessed that the male was more aggressive, you'd be right 60% of the time. But if you take the 1 in 100 most aggressive people, they're all male. And that's why the overwhelming proportion of people who are in prisons are male. Now, do you want to equalize that, just out of curiosity? What about bricklayers? They're 99% male. And we've got about 3/4 of the population now in universities in the humanities and social sciences are female.
Yeah.
Are we going to equalize that? And men work longer hours. They work more dangerous jobs. They're more likely to move. They're more likely to work outside. They're more likely to participate in jobs in the STEM fields that are scalable. They make more money for those reasons. And that's all hidden under the idea that the reason that men and women make different amounts of money is because of their gender. It's a very simplistic analysis, and trying to
Michael,
address
I was just going to say, Sophie, can you come back on that?
What I'm trying to equalise is opportunity and choice.
Fine, let's
And
equalise choice.
You agree on that.
But we won't get equal outcome that way.
And I think that what happens then, nobody knows, because we've never done it yet.
We do know. We know what's happened in Scandinavia.
But it's not fully got there yet.
No, but it's going in the opposite direction that everyone predicted, and strongly.
I think one of the things I loved about Jordan's book, which I speed read last night, so forgive me, Jordan, I've not read every line. But one of my favourite rules in Jordan's book is Rule 9, which says, assume the person you are listening to might know something you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in a country where men outnumber women by 2 to 1 in Parliament, in local government, where women's voices are not equally represented in media, where our education systems still are teaching boys and girls ideas of pink and blue. What I'm trying to do is work with thousands of optimistic, hopeful people for change.
Okay. You kept very quiet through this, Michael. I'm going to make you put you under a bit of pressure. Do forgive me, I'm going to come to the calls in a moment. Your boss called the gender pay gap a burning injustice. Is it?
Yes, it is, because there should be inequality of opportunity. There needs to be the same rights. But you know, something that surprised me, that neither of you, and the quality of outcome, sure, all of that. But the one thing both of you haven't mentioned is the biological difference, which unfortunately affects women's career prospects, whether we like it or not. Babies. And that does cause a problem. You know, if I were to take a sabbatical from a corporation for a while, it's going to set me back slightly. And it is a problem that biologically it's women who have babies, not men.
Sure, but that's why the Women's Equality Party is the only party in the UK that's got policies around shared parental leave.
She's so political.
We're the only party that has got fully costed plans for universal free childcare. What we're saying is that
you're trying to change the
we're trying to change the outcomes, and also men are joining our party. Men who are really
tired.
I'm sure I'm going to have a word with Michael, because I am sure he'll want the application.
Okay, forgive me.
We take joint membership.
Forgive me, I want to take one call, if you'll forgive me, because time is really short, and I owe it to the viewers to hear their views on this.
We've got Salim calling from Manchester.
Salim, good morning.
Hi, Matthew. How you doing?
I'm very well. I'm loving it. I'm a pig in heaven today. What do we think about equality? Will it ever happen, Salim?
I was going to say I thought it was going to happen, but after listening to Jordan, he's swayed my opinion.
No. Why did you think it was going to happen?
Because I think we're going to become more cognitive creatures, and jobs are going to be more about mental skills.
Technology.
But then I've been visited schools, and I work in STEM. I'm a software developer, and the number of women doing software development hasn't increased. I would have thought they would have increased more, but I went into secondary school to do GCSE IT stuff, and there's very, very few girls doing IT, and I was thinking IT is the future, and the schools are pushing for more girls to go into IT, but there's only I visited about 8 schools.
Can I just, sorry, Salim, can I just note, because I'm 30 seconds, Sophie's idea, actually representations in the media could be affecting such choices. Geeks, we see geeks, bespectacled blokes with bad hair on computers. That's what tech means, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because I think actually that one of the other things we want to do is to have a look at curriculums, to have more female role models to, you know, to encourage girls, because so long as we still see STEM as a boys area that we're trying to get girls into, it's not going to work. We need to do the work we're doing on care, get more boys thinking about, you know, nursing, teaching, more role models for boys in schools.
And
that's the way you break it all
on
down.
programmes like EastEnders, The Archers, that's helped them a lot.
Right, so listen, I have to draw things to a conclusion. Can I just say how wonderful, 3 people, diverse political views, diverse views on many other issues, that get along famously and have wonderful conversations. Thank you. That is exactly the ambition that I have for this show. So Jordan, good luck with the book. It is out now. It's called 12 Rules for Life.
What Jordan said is right. He said, we human, we all are not equal. We are different. A lady cannot do a bricklayer job. Mostly are men. Men do bricklayer job. Like 90% of the men, they accept them for bricklaying job. And again, women, we are human, but we are not equal. We are different.
Okay.
Actually, we can't keep comparing this comparison between a man and a woman. I think it's getting too much because a man works more than a woman. If you go to the engineering department, the computer science department, you hardly see women there. You can, like in a class of 100, you see only one female student in the class. And you'll be like, wow, school will be talking to students, like, be encouraging girls to go into those departments because women shy away from those departments. And they still want equality between a man and a woman. It doesn't work that way. A man works more than a woman. Men do all the hard jobs. So I think even all these electrical stuffs, other stuffs, even all these productions, all these important skills that requires hard labor comes from men. So I think men are the one who works more than women.
Yeah, so in all honesty, right, I feel like men and women have different qualities, and those qualities are what distinguishes them as a man and as a woman. So we tend to see that women can be more emotional. Now I'm talking about, you know, our characteristics generally. Women can be more emotional, you know. Women can be very caring. And I feel like that's actually the reason why a lot of women go into, you know, career paths like nursing and teaching, because women have they have a thing for caring for. I mean, they are mothers. Most women are going to be mothers, so it's like a natural thing that comes to them. And then men also have their own qualities that distinguishes them. Which one of it is strength? So a man is usually very strong. They can be very aggressive too. You know, we all have these qualities. And so I don't think that it is possible that we will say that we want to be equal, no matter how much we try. Yeah, it's good that, you know, women are given a lot of these opportunities, right? That's what gender equality is all about. Mm-hmm. But the question still remains that even when women are given these opportunities, do they actually want to do? Did they actually take it? Because like Ella said, in as much as women are being told, okay, go into, you know, careers that involve the STEM line, a lot of women still wouldn't go into them. So you go to a class and then you see, you know, lots of men in an engineering class and then maybe 1 or 2 females in the class. Yeah. So they are given these opportunities, but they still don't want to take it. Why? Because they're just not naturally, you know, drawn into that line. They're just not naturally people that would want to do very strenuous activities. And I also believe that whenever a lady is thinking about a career path, she also puts in mind the fact that one day she's going to be a mother. She's going to have to, you know, share her attention between her career and also her family, because she's a home builder. She's going to be a mom, taking care of her children and all of that. I feel like these are the reasons why we cannot say that men and women will be equal. A man is not going to give birth. He's not going to go on sabbatical leave because he got pregnant and then he gave birth, right? He's still going to continue providing for the home. No matter what he does, that's one of his roles, and so he has to do it. But a woman can go on leave. Why? Because she has to take care of her children. She has to take care of the home. So these are the reasons why I feel like men and women now, we're not equal. Yeah, we have our different roles, and that's what balances the family, but then we're not equal. So yeah, that's what I think about this particular video that we just watched. We'd like to know what you think about this video, so please do drop a comment in the comment section, and please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel for more videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.